it's Sam from Kavee and welcome to today's video. So today we are going to be making a 3x2 C&C Kavee cage with a stand, and then later on we'll add a loft and a lid as well. So stick around for that if that's what you're into. But for now, the actual 3x2 cage on a stand is going to be 105 centimeters so long, so lengthways. That's 1.5 meters. We also have 70 centimeters going width, and height is going to be 105 as well. No, 70. Oh, the whiteboard is wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I have all of my knowledge into my head. There's definitely absolutely not a whiteboard. I know everything. Cool. So with the 3x2 cages, as we all know, they are the smallest that we offer. They are only for a temporary solution, that is all. So if guinea pigs need kind of quarantining or they need to be separated from one another, then we offer it as a temporary solution. It's not for a completely permanent living condition. So cool. So if you need any help kind of thinking what C&C cage it is you're after as well, please check out that video. We have a video where we have a little decision tree and kind of help you make your mind up of what C&C cage you need depending on how many guinea pigs you have and any additional things that you require as well. But let's get building. So for the entirety of the 3x2 on a stand, you will need 26 grids. So these ones are the modular grids here, so they're nice square ones. You can kind of easily move them around. Whoop. We're also going to need 34 connectors. So these are the little connectors here, the little rounded ones that you get included. We have lots of different orientations. So we have a crisscross, and we also have the horizontal ones up the top as well. So for now though, we're just going to focus on the stand. So we're going to need 10 of the grids, and we'll need 12 of the connectors. So it's just going to be the kind of same thing. Whoop, there we go. So nicely just connecting. We're going to start with a H shape. So we're going to actually do 2 H's for the 3x2 stands. And we're not going to focus on putting any connectors on the top right now. So these are solely just the ones that are going to be on the bottom, or I like to call them little feet. We're going to give them little feeties. There we go. So basically the H shapes that we're going to do are going to be 2 on the side, 1 in the middle, and 2 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for each little H. So we're going to do 2 H's. I'll quickly just do one of them so you can kind of see how they'll look. Will it stand? It will stand. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So there we go. And by this point, it's good to just double check that they're all definitely connected securely as well. So really kind of using a little bit of force if you need to use the connections. Oh no, come back here. There we go. Whoop. Perfect. Stand. Don't go anywhere. Lovely. So we're going to add 1 up here too, and 1 at the bottom. So this is our first H, nearly complete. Just add the connectors onto the bottom as well. Oh. So you can add a little bit of force to these as well, and the connectors can be quite strong. So when you're adding a little bit of force, make sure that you're holding onto the outer layer of the grid, because you can try and control it a little bit better. And if you hold onto the inside meshing, it might get damaged. So we're going to do the exact same thing as I've just done, but again. So I'm going to build another H now, but what I'm going to try and do is leave a space almost grid size, so we can kind of get an idea of where our 3x2 is going to go on top of that. So I'll see you in a second. So now that you've got your 2 H's, the next kind of part that we're going to go to is the flooring next. So that's kind of our next section. So 2 H's, nicely kind of spaced out. For this bit, we are going to need 2, 4, 6. So we have 6 more grids to do for the actual floor. They're going to sit like that. And to connect them all into place, we have 12 connectors as well. So more of these ones. So this bit's a little bit important. We're just going to focus on 2 different connectors at first. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on these 2 in the middle. These 2 are the only ones in the entirety of this cage that's going to be like this. So they're going to be facing downwards, flat bit on top. It'll make sense as we go on, but let's just connect those ones in. It's a little bit easier to try and line them both up first that are kind of adjacent to each other, so the opposite ones, and then you've got the little bit extra leeway to just put that one into it as well. And like we said before, just making sure you hear those clicks and making sure they definitely go into place. So next one, straight opposite. So this is the only one. Okay, and same again, I'm going to get those two and line them up. Ooh, there we go. And then you can just kind of hold that bit and push it in a little bit more. Perfect. So they're the only two. We're now going to move on to the rest. So the best thing to kind of focus on right now is doing one bit at a time. So I'm going to start with the right hand side, back of the cage almost. And I'm going to actually put the other connector in first. So I made a huge point of making these two only facing downwards because the rest of the ones now are going to make sure that they're vertical connectors. Okay, so this is because this is only just the stand. We then have to build the actual edge of the cage around it. So we need to have it slot into afterwards. So I'm going to put that one in first. So vertical, vertical, vertical. There we go. Perfect. So there's one of them in there. So now we can kind of go two at a time, I would say. So don't try and put them all in at once. You might find it a little bit hard to try and put the grid in and you won't have as much movement. So I'm going to do two. So we're going to place one corner into so, and then the other. And that way you've kind of got this little bit of extra movement to kind of guide them into the next place as well. So still doing these bits vertical. I'm going to kind of try and describe it as the connectors are like looking inside. So at these points, it doesn't really matter which way they go, if you're kind of facing them forward or if you're facing them to the side, as long as they're vertical, it's absolutely fine. So I'm going to do it so the only ones that are going to be facing inwards will be these ones, and then the rest of them can kind of just face towards whatever direction they're going. So I will now put that one in two. There we go. So there's our first one. I'm just going to do the exact same to the other side. And we'll start with these two. They're much easier to do. Oof, that was nice, satisfying. And we'll do the same again. So there's one, clicked in, and there's the other. So just remember by these stages that you need to do them vertical because we're still going to build on top. So there's our first kind of H done. I'm just going to do the exact the same, even in the middle of these ones, and carry on going. So I'll just see you in a second. So now that you've kind of put your, well, I was going to say top, but it's basically the flooring of your C&C cage here. So this is the stand, technically completely done now. And as it's all connected, you can kind of just lift it up like that and it's absolutely fine. So making sure, again, that your connectors are all facing the right way. So all around the outside to be vertical, and the only two that should be flat down are these ones. So now that you've kind of got this bit ready, we're going to move on to the next stage, which is building the edge around the cage, so the actual part where the guinea pigs are going to go, so the walls almost. So we're going to have 10 of more grids, 10 of the more modular grids. They're going to go all the way around there. And we also have some connectors, so we have 10 more connectors to kind of put them into their place. So we'll start off with another corner. Favourite corners, love them. And it's basically the easy part now, I would say, of just kind of where you've left them as kind of vertical, you just kind of slide them just into there. So whoop, let's just kind of get on with that, shall we? And just making sure that you're kind of doing grid connector again, just to make sure that they're completely secure in their place. So exactly how I've just done it, but all the way around the cage. So now that you've kind of done the edges of your C&C cage here, and you've got all your connectors faced up the top as well, I've kind of done my horizontal facing downwards. You can do yours however you see fit. And just making sure that they're definitely kind of all the way connected and all the way secure. So just double checking. So right now I'm like eagle eye checking all of them and just making sure that they're all pushed down. The next stage we're going to do for our C&C cage is getting the coroplast sheet. So I'm going to move this cage out of the way and I'll bring the sheet here and I'll kind of talk you through how to fold it and put it back into the cage. So we've just popped our cage just out of the way there, and we're now going to choose our Koroks that we're going to start folding. So we're just going to need a 3x2 base for that one. As you can see, we have lots of different colours. I'm going to be lazy and choose the one closest to me. So I've gone for green. So once you've kind of laid it out, you can pop it open and lay it out flat. So you'll kind of notice that once you've laid it out, there's some bits that you need to start folding. So you'll see the little lines to start going. And you can just add a little bit of force to them because they're a little bit sturdy, but we're going to try and flex them up a little bit. So you can kind of push a little bit on there, just making sure that they're nice and folded. And we're going to do the same to all 4 sides. And you would have noticed by now the corners of the actual sheet, hopefully. So the difference with these ones is you won't need any tape or any glue or anything like that. All you need to do is just put the tabs inside the slots. So we're going to just go from the outside in. We're going to feed the tab through and we'll just pull it all the way through as well. So there we go. So it's nice and secure just like that. We do it from the outside in because that way when you're putting it into the cage, it's a little bit easier. It kind of won't get stuck on the grids on the way down. So it's the best way we find. There we go. Doing the same all the way around. So getting the tab from the outside in, feed it through and pull it all the way in. Just like a nice little click sound as well. So you'll definitely know that the tabs are in. Last one. And there we go. So now that you've kind of folded that one up and making sure that the kind of edges are nice and straight, we're going to bring the cage back and we're just going to put it inside the 3x2. So I'll see you in a second. So bring the cage back and you've got your coroplast ready just next to you. So you can literally just throw it in. I mean, not really throw it, but yes. And it should just kind of drop down quite nicely, but just double check all the corners as well and just make sure that they're in their places. But that's it. You're done. Bye. No. This is it for your 3x2 with a open kind of cage. So this is all you need for that one. But if you do want to add a loft as well, you can stick around for that and I'll give you some options on that as well. And I'll also stick around and tell you how to get a full lid as well. With those ones, it is going to be on a 3x2 without a stand, but it's going to be the exact same principle. So keep an eye out for those ones if that's what you're interested in getting. But for now, congratulations, you've done your 3x2 with a stand. So if you've got onto this part and you want to add a little bit of a loft and a lid, then I'm going to try and teach you how to get through that part as well. So what we'll need for the actual loft, so we have 2 of the door grids, we call them, but they're actually got the hinged edges. These parts are going to be for your safety lid, so they're going to go on the top just like that. And we have 2 more normal grids, so the ones that we've been working with before. So we have 4 more connectors and we also have 5 cable ties. So because the actual loft is going to sit about halfway in through the cage, we have to properly secure them, so we'll use them with cable ties. So first thing, grab your 2 grids. We're going to also use one of the connectors, just pop them into any corner. There we go. And same with the other side, just slotting it in there. Nice little click to securely place it. So that is the kind of first step done. Oh God, and then you hold it in the middle and it all falls apart. Maybe do it on a flat surface. That'll be the easiest way to do it, Sam. There we go. Perfect. So what it's going to do is we're going to try and put it just about halfway. So maybe just on that level, just like that. This is because when you put it around halfway, the actual ramp is a nice kind of steady level for the guinea pigs to go up and down. It's not going to be too steep, so it's not going to be dangerous. So about halfway. What we'll do to secure that part, I'm going to get you to come a little bit closer because securing it with cable ties is a little bit finicky and we want to make sure that you get it right. So come over here. Lovely. So where you want to choose where your loft is going to go onto the side, you're going to go 7 up from the bottom, as that's halfway onto the grids there. And you want a nice even way. So put the cable tie through. Once you've got hold of where the loft's going to go, you're going to go down through to one grid, round into the other, and then we'll come back out the other side. There we go. That way you've got hold of all 4 there. That way it'll be quite sturdy for the middle to be held up. Once it's in, tighten it up there. There we go. So that's your first one done. It's good to carry on going through a straight line to get the backs all done. So 7 up again. Same principle. So through, down, round and back out. There we go. And on to the next corner. 7 up. So we know at these points that cable ties can be quite a little bit fiddly. So do give yourself some time for this. And tighten. There we go. And back around. So now you can do the 2 that are going to be at the ends. So same again, 7 up. And we're going to go through, down, round, and back up again. There we go. And you'll start to see the loft take shape now. So 7 up again, we'll go round, tighten it all into place, and it will hold nice and tightly now. There we go. And there's your loft. So now that you've added your loft, you've kind of cut it halfway open onto the 3x2 cage. We're going to go around and just snip the little cable ties off there. Oh, just because it makes it look a little bit tidier. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that went flying, didn't it? Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. So what we're going to move on to next, well, obviously you're going to have your cable ties kind of closer to you and you're going to pick them up and move them out of the way. I'll do that one in a second. What we're going to move on to now is the actual lid for the loft. So we add a safety lid here for this part of the loft because of the level that it's at. The guinea pigs can get a bit curious and they can try and climb up and things like that. So to avoid any harm to your guinea pigs, we're going to add a safety lid. So we'll start off by taking the door hinges, the door grids, what we've done earlier. We'll take the hinged side of it and we're going to place it into the corners of these ones. So they're going to be flat side up, so they kind of slot right in there nicely. You're going to be tempted to put this into this one. Don't do it. I do it all the time, but don't do it. We're going to get another one and we're going to place it facing upwards. So the 2 ones, the flat tops there, can kind of rest on each other. So we'll put it in there. The reason that we don't put it in there because you're not actually going to get the lift that you want, so you're not going to be able to lift it up. So we'll do that exact same thing, but we'll do it to the other side. Whoops, sliding that one in. Get another connector to just connect those ones in the middle. Adds a little bit more security, and exactly the same thing for this side as well. So not putting it into that one. So there we go. There's your super quick, easy lid. Ta-da! And it works very nicely. So what we'll do is, the next part we're going to go on to, I'm not going to leave that on there just there. The next thing we're going to go on to is actually going on to the ramp and the loft part of the Koroks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that over here and I'll tell you how to fold it. So now that you've kind of just popped your cage just a little bit out of the way and you've got your sheets ready, you'll notice that things are a little bit different from the base that we did earlier. So we have the actual loft part. So that's where it's going to kind of sit just in there, obviously when it's folded. And we have the ramp connecting the 2 levels together. So same as before, we're just going to fold them up and just get that little bit of flexibility that we needed from the same before. Oh, there we go. And you'll kind of see the same feature slots that we used before as well. That part is, we're practically pros at that now, so that's fine. These things oh, there we go. There we go. So same again, just adding a little bit more flexibility to them, not forgetting the little tabs as well. Cool. So the easiest way to kind of start with this is always making sure that the part where the ramp is going to connect to the loft is on your left. Recently I've done it on the right and it doesn't really work, depending on what way you want your ramp and things like that, but easiest way is definitely from the left. So we are gonna almost got me as well. Making sure that the two rounded edges are lined up together as well, because this is going to slot into this one. So may as well start to feed through like we've done before. So I'm going to start with little tabs first. There we go, there's one. Oh, it's come back out again, hasn't it? There you go. So feeding them through and then just pulling through at the bottom. So it's probably easier to do this on the same level. There we go. So as we're folding it up, this is the only time we're ever going to do this, because I know I've been teaching you to do it from the outside in. This time only is going to be from the inside out. I had to rethink about that then. So we're just going to lift up. So from the inside out, we're just going to pull the tab through and all the way, just to kind of securely fasten the ramp there. So that is absolutely definitely not going to budge. That's the kind of securest way to do it. And now forget that you ever did it. We didn't do that. We're always doing from the outside in from now on. So same as before, we're going to lift up, outside in, get the tab, feed it through and pull it all the way. And then that can kind of be folded upright properly now as well. And we'll do the same for the last one as well. So outside in, feed through, pull all the way. And the same again, where have we gone? From the outside in and pull through. There we go. So that's what it will kind of look like when it's all done. You can just kind of extra pull the little ramp slides in there. There we go. So it'll kind of sit like this, not too much because that's still a bit too steep, but we'll place it in now. So if you've already done your lid, you can just open that one up, let it rest a little bit, and we can just place it straight inside. Whoosh. There we go. Cool. So that is what it will look like, and then we can put the lid back on top. So this is your 3x2 C&C cage with a loft and a ramp. What we're going to do now is I'm going to teach you how to do a full lid if you don't just want the safety lid, if you want to have a completely closed lid for whatever reason, say if you've got any pets or anything like that. So I'll teach you through that one now. So you've got your 3x2 cage here and you've got your loft and ramp coming down. Just as a little pointer, you should never leave your cage open like this. We've removed our safety lid here as a demonstration to kind of build you for the full lid, but you should never get rid of your safety lid for any reason if you have a loft. So moving onwards, we're going to start off with the full lid. We're going to have 3 of the door grids that we call them, so the ones with the hinged edges. And we have 3 more normal ones as well, so 3 more normal grids. And together we're going to have 8 connectors. So more of the rounded ones that we have. The first thing we're going to do is start off in the corner. It just makes it a little bit more simple. We're going to use one of the door grids and we're just going to kind of slot them inside into the kind of, oh, that was nice, into the flat edges there. So in that kind of top bit of the connectors. You're going to be tempted once again to try and put them into this part. No need to do that, for the reason if you put them in there, you won't actually get the lift that you want. So we're going to avoid doing that and put the connectors facing upwards now. So try and get that into your head as much as you can. I'm trying to get it into mine because I know at some point I'll just unintentionally try and put them in. So I'm not going to connect that one just yet actually, because we're going to go move on to the normal grid. So it might be easier for you to kind of just go from 2 bits at a time. So all the door grids are going to go on this side. All the normal grids are going to go on this side. So we'll connect it to the ones that is facing upwards at the moment. So just placing it in there. And we'll connect these 2 securely once again, facing upwards, just so you kind of know where it's going to be going. And let's do the same for these 2 as well. And it's nice for the edge ones because you know they're going to be resting on top of each other as well. So there's those ones in there, listening out for those clicks, making sure that they're nice and secure. So there's the kind of first ones that we have here. We've got the lid part here and the normal grid. So it will open up all together just like that. So I'm going to carry on doing exactly what I've just done with these ones, but I'll just do these ones as well. So now that you've kind of put all of your door grids parts here and the normal ones here, you should, ta-da, get your lift. So there it is. You've got the lift up going up, or the lid, should I say, sorry. But that is the full lid for your 3x2 cage, remembering that this is only as a temporary solution, but you've got your full lid here to protect you from any dogs, cats, or young children or things like that. That's what we recommend getting. I'll just click again, so always making sure that they're completely secured. What we'll do now is we're going to decorate this, so you can kind of get some ideas of how to decorate, maybe some inspiration. So I'll see you in a moment. So there we go, we've just finished our 3x2 with a stand, loft and a lid, and this is what it looks like when it's completely decorated and things like that. So all the fleece liners, the boxes, extra little kind of foliage around. Just be careful of decorations, just make sure that you're not kind of putting them up and in the way so the guinea pigs can get them. Safety is important with your guinea pigs first, and I think you're loving it, aren't you? I think he's loving it, yeah. So hope you like it. We're kind of doing these things to give you some inspiration, so please do like, and also don't forget to follow so you can see more things. You can try and think of ideas that you can do with your guinea pig cages. Everything can be found on our website, so please go look at that and don't forget to follow, and I hope you enjoyed.